Hello guys, Dama.K2 here. I am doing the stream to announce my finest hour Let's Play. And right now I am flying in a new torpedo bomber that I made for this campaign. Hasn't really been named yet. Very cheap, about 13k. Might work on a little bit more. I don't think it's quite ready. Still got some decorative work to do and whatnot. Anyway, I'm just trying to pull up the stream on my phone so I can monitor chat here. And make sure, there we go. Whoop. I guess I must accidentally hit F11. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to start showing off some of the things I've been working on in the some of the planes that some of the things that I've been using for the multiplayer run. I'm probably going to reuse in this. Just a heads up on that. And no, I don't want the visual effects. But no, I just want... There we go. So yeah, we got this little guy here for a torpedo bomber. I got some other planes. You guys might remember this one. This thing has been super useful. The Rest in Peace medium bomber. It's pretty fast. Just drops like clouds of frag bombs. Been very nice to have around. Yeah, that guy's definitely making a comeback here. Let's see here. And you guys probably will remember this thing. Loosely based off of a B-52. Again, very, very fast, very heavy bomb load in this thing. I'm not entirely sure why it just keeps oscillating up and down like that, but it's not too big a deal. At least I don't think it is. I think the center of drag might be a bit off, though. I wouldn't be surprised if those guys collide at some point here. Man, it's got a hell of a turn circle, though. Yep, speak of the devil. But we rarely had that problem in playing. Let's see here. What else do I want to show off? Yeah, I got a new light cruiser here. Been very happy with it. Uh-oh. Seem to be missing a piece here at the front. We'll just keep it simple. There. And we'll paint it. There we go. Yeah, this is just meant to be a early game warship. It does pretty good against other light warships. Gets pretty good speed, which I'll show you guys here in a moment. It takes a little bit to get up there. But she'll do 30 plus meters a second. The guns are 150 millimeter. And I think they're using 3-meter autoloaders in this. Let me just get rid of the blocks here so you guys can see. Yes, 3-meter autoloaders. They got a pretty good rate of fire. Yeah, she's already hitting 33 meters a second. Does have a bit of a list when it turns though, but that's fine. Let's see here. You're getting about 30 rounds per minute out of these. Very nice. Backed up with some 150 millimeter casemates. She's also got 4 twin Bofors. Yeah, she's up to 34 now. Really like this boat. Armor on it is okay. We got an outer layer of metal, alloy, then we got metal poles, and then that's where we get the squishy bits after this layer of metal here. But I think that should be able to stop most hash and heat there, just that alone. Yeah, that listing could be a bit of a problem. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it though. So that is the Rourke's Rift light cruiser. And we'll just go ahead and despawn that guy. Let's see, over here, let's show off another ship here, I think. This is a heavy cruiser that I came up with. The Dama Mark II. Anyone who's been a fan of the channel for a while knows that Dama, the first one anyway, was a very large heavy cruiser with a Trumbull home style hull. Of course, this is a little bit different, something a bit more conventional. She is using these 250 millimeter guns, roughly about 10 inches, if I remember correctly. They have pretty good rates of fire. And we got 2 sets of those, or I'm sorry, we got the 2 of the quad turrets, 1 fore, 1 aft, and then we got this twin mount right here. Basically, I was experimenting with the King George V layout for this. I think it turned out pretty good, though. I think she gets up to a pretty good clip, too, if I remember right. Let's have a look-see. Yeah, already up to 28 meters a second. 29. Has a lot of these anti-aircraft guns that I made for another ship. I'll be showing that off here in a moment, but yeah, these anti-aircraft guns have been very, very good. Been very happy with them. They are 30 millimeter, I believe. Get 30 millimeter. They get just a little under 200 RPM, and I think they're just using pure kinetic. And she's already up to 33 meters a second. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, this is the shell it uses. Pretty good muzzle velocity. This right here, I believe this is the shell for the casemate guns. Just a hash. This right here, this is the shell for the mains. One of them fires an armor-piercing head. The other one, it fires, well, an armor-piercing head with a base bleeder. This one is an AP heat. 34 meters a second on this thing. She's a little on the expensive side, but I think she'll do fine. The armor is alloy, metal, metal, alloy, and we got the alloy slopes here. Then we got one more layer of alloy, and then we got the internals. Not really a whole lot of internals in here, honestly, because that's just the part in between the mains. And this is using this same old low RPM engine that I've been using for a lot of my ships here lately for main propulsion. It's getting pretty good power per material, 940 some odd. We also have frag HE torpedoes that come out of this. Also been happy with those. It's got 4 different AIs. The last one is for the torpedoes because there might be some instances where I'd like to turn those off to save materials. But I think she is going to be a pretty good contender for this campaign. And we'll just turn that back on. She does have some steering thrusters in the front. Try to get better turning out of it. I think these are using 5 meter autoloaders to try to get that 20 component shells for the 10-inch. And we'll just get rid of everything in. I want to bring the Rourke's Rift back in because I forgot to go over the shells it's using. We'll just do that real quick. Okay, so where do I have that ammo customizer? No, let's just, yeah. Using AP heat and I think the secondary guns are probably using the Sabo one. Yeah. And we got this one here, just pure kinetic. Hi, here they all are. Yeah, AP heat, AP, and the... Oh, this is an AP frag. Okay, maybe that one was for the casemates, I guess. It's been a while since I've made these. Yeah. Okay. So let's get rid of that guy. And bring in the hardest steel Mark II. We have barely gotten around to using this guy in the multiplayer campaign, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to use it more in the solo one. But she is... I'm trying to think of how to word this. She's intended to be a bit more of a just a solid workhorse type of ship. Not very expensive, has decent guns, 200 millimeter. I can't remember if this is using the 2-meter autoloaders or the 4. Looks like we're using the 4s. Okay. So we're probably using SAP in this thing. And it's got my 150 millimeter casemate turrets. Mark III's jackhammer system, I believe. I'm not quite sure how this happened. Kind of weird. Let's see here. What else do we got? Oh, looks like I've missed a spot to paint it there, but that's okay. Let's do a speed test with her. I try to get these up to and over 30 meters a second if I can. Sometimes it takes a little bit for these to get up to speed. I'm not entirely sure why I got this second rudder in here. I think that might have been an accident. Anyway. She just meant to kind of be a mid-weight brawler. The armor scheme is alloy, metal, metal, alloy poles, alloy, and then we got the internals here surrounded with another layer of alloy. Now let's just shrink the blocks here. Let's see. Yeah, she's already doing 33 meters a second. That's pretty damn good. Let's see if we can find the shells for this. And this is why she can move so fast. Had to do all kinds of fuckery to get her up to that speed. And she's also got some large torpedoes. Those are always good. And it looks like we have the shell customizer here. That looks like it's probably for the I think that's for the casemate guns. Can't quite remember. Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah, that's about the right shell length for it. These are SAP HE, and they are being used in 200 millimeter guns. Gets pretty good damage. I was really happy with the rate of fire with the mains too. 23 RPM is pretty good. And these should be able to kill an armor, or a metal armor beam or two in a single shot. These don't really do anything in the coincidence rangefinders. They won't be doing much in this campaign. They're just mostly on there for looks. But yeah, a ship that I've been pretty happy with for the most part. What else do we got here? Oh, you guys will like this. The latest version of the Richthofen. This one is intended to be a dedicated fighter. Does pretty well at its job. It has 100mm cannons, and it's got these smaller 50mm cannons. And let's just shrink the blocks so we can see the insides. A lot of the machine guns on this, or the APS, that's been spin clipped into the wings and whatnot. Rate of fire could be better, but this thing performs pretty well one-on-one versus a lot of the fighters in the campaign. Even though it's probably considerably more expensive, but I'm cool with it. I think the aesthetics for it turned out very well. And what else do I got here? This guy. This is a heavy fighter that I came up with, loosely based on the... I think it was the Lightning? Lockheed Martin? Gets pretty good speed, as you can see here, 137 meters a second. I kind of borrowed the props from one of Heitzmeister's planes. They're not real props, they're just on spin blocks. See? But it is equipped with, I think it's 8 of these autocannons. And we have these 50mm APS that protrude from the nose here. And none of that's spin clipped, by the way. But it's a pretty good little plane. I've been very happy with it. Gets great speed, good firepower. I think it'll make a pretty good interceptor. Can't quite remember what kind of shell these use. We could probably find out real quick. Oh yeah, just APHE. Nothing too crazy. I just remembered I haven't had a chance to look at this guy yet. I mean, as far as what kind of shells it uses. Let's see here. So just a basic APHE. I think these ones use the same one. Yes. Let's see here. Yeah, there's also a bomber version of the Richthofen. But I'm going to have to do some changes to this because this was originally intended for Ashes of the Empire run that has been going on. And we're going to probably need to change these missiles out to be thumper head dumbfire, which shouldn't be too hard to do. I'll get to it at some point. Okay. let's see here. Oh, I forgot to put up a... There we go. Forgot to put a link somewhere. Alright, so I got more planes. This guy has just recently made its appearance in the multiplayer campaign. The Devil Dog Dive Bomber. Very good speed. Very nasty bomb. Put a magnet in there just in case it happens to miss. I know it's not very in keeping with the World War II theme, but it does the job. And it's very, very fast. And pretty cheap, considering. Yeah, I'll probably be using that thing at some point. Ooh, yeah. This one hasn't made its debut just yet. Basically, it is the Maverick fighter that I've been using in Ashes of the Empire. Except this guy is much faster. And it's got spin clipped APS. And let's just see if we can get a peek at what the shell is for this. It looks like it's just a kinetic round. Okay. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, this thing had to have a bit of spin clipping done to it to get this to work. These are dumbfire rockets here. So that way we still try to make use of these missile launchers, though if I cut them off it would probably save a ton of materials, but I'm not too worried about costs here. Oh, what else do we have? Oh yeah, there is an upgraded version of the Hellenbach Mark II. The original one wasn't painted for starters. And we'll just do a little speed test for this guy. But yeah, I put a lot of work into this to make sure that she gets to a very good speed. Whoa, hello, what was that? I think one of the cylinders just... Uh-huh. Right, I needed to expand the engine a bit, didn't I? Sorry folks, I thought I had this shit worked out. There we go. Still getting pretty good power per material. I might have to do something different with that, but whatever. Could have sworn that I had this fixed, but whatever. I can come back and fix it later. It's still getting 32 meters a second. So I'm cool with that. Let's have a look at these guns here real quick. I believe yeah, these are 5-inch. Using 3-meter autoloaders. Rate of fire was pretty good as I recall, yeah. 20.5. Here's the shell. Looks like I just went with kinetics on that. That's a kinetic. 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 Yep, okay. And we got these torpedo launchers here. Explosive frag. I'm definitely going to have to do something about that damn engine down there. It just keeps overheating like crazy. I might just need to vent it somehow. Anyway, I'll come back to that guy later. Rework it a bit. Okay. So let's see here. We got Prima Victoria Mark II. This is a bit bigger than the heavy cruiser that I had out earlier, and definitely has more guns. The mains are 200mm using 4-meter autoloaders. We have these 150s right here, and this anti-aircraft gun here in the back, using 100mm. I also have a Quest for Neater version of this that I may use sometime down the road. We got some of the anti-aircraft guns here from More Simple Weapons, I believe. And what else? What else? Got several of the, actually just 2 of the twin Bofors here up top. And let's see if we can get her up to a good speed. Huh. Right. This is where all the AI detection stuff was housed. That's why that's there. This was a conversion from the Quest for Neater. But yeah, I've been pretty happy with it. Let's see if we can figure out what shells this thing has. Yeah, it is using injectors. Looks like this went with AP heat and kinetic. Yep. I think the flak is being used in this gun here. Still getting very good power per material on these. Crazy. And again, this ammo won't detonate. The ammo boxes around it. I've tested this. We got some torpedo launchers up here. Got another smaller engine here. She's getting 31 meters a second. That's pretty good. Almost like all the engine power that I've been putting in these ships, it's all been going towards propulsion. Let's see, what else do I want to show you guys? I don't know if I'm going to use this here. I've been considering it, though. It is a hover battleship, basically. I mean, not... I'm sorry, not a hover battleship. It is a hover carrier, I guess. Excuse me. So yeah, not really a whole lot in here. I just been trying to, instead of putting all the ammo in one spot, I'm just been putting them into their own individual places in these gas bags that everything sits on. And I may need to do some work on this. I'm not very happy with the superstructure here. Just seems too plain to me. It just seems like it needs a little something extra. And these are just supposed to be like areas for the crew to work on planes. We got these couple 40 millimeter, I'm sorry, 60 millimeter autocannon turrets. There are two of these using 200 millimeter. Though I can't quite remember what shell I set this up for. Yeah, it looks like kinetic. Okay. And Alucardi came up with these guns here. Looks like they're using frag. Not usually a very big fan of frag, mostly because they're very dangerous to use. Frag will blow through heavy armor spectacularly. So I try to avoid using it in APS because it's just too hard to contain the explosion. But yeah, I'm still not entirely sure if I want to use this. I imagine it looks pretty good though. Some yell out there. Then the altitude is way too high. I would need it to probably be around maybe 200 meters because the planes will just try to take off and slam back down out of the deck. Oh, this guy's definitely going to be brought back. It's just been such a good aircraft in the multiplayer campaign. I'm just going to hold on to it. Just done some very solid work. The original was using, I think it was frag bombs, medium, and these are using the large APN. Gets great speed, 140 meters a second. Been great for taking out lone targets. Should be able to outrun most things in finest hour. And what would be another one I could probably show off to you guys? There's like a few heavy cruiser designs that never quite got finished. I'm not entirely sure if I want to use this little guy here, because it's been having all kinds of problems with stability issues. There are times in the campaign where I would see it where it would just be popping a wheelie. And damn if she ain't quick though. Yeah, let's show you guys how fast this thing really goes. But I think right now she's being stabilized with, I believe it was, oh no, just, okay. I thought I had some hydroplanes in this, but I guess not. I might put some, just like some jet thrusters in here to try to see if I can keep the nose of it from coming up out of the water, but yeah, it'll do about 50 meters a second. I might need to play with it around that a bit more before I think it's ready. Oh, it's got a 40 millimeter twin Bofors here. It's got a grenade launcher up here. We have a medium torpedo launcher here and here. They're using frag torpedoes. And we have a 3.7-inch gun. I believe that's using flak, probably. Oh, no. One's using, looks like hollow point frag, and the grenade launcher one is just using frag. Okay. We'll just see how they perform, and I'll make changes to them as I need to do. So, yeah. What else do I want to show you guys? Death Harmonic Mark II is definitely coming back. It's been a very solid attack plane. And it'll do pretty good early game, I think. It's got the two 60mm autocannons, and it's got all these 60mm grenade launchers. Mostly meant for ground attack role, and it's got missiles, all dumbfire rockets in this case. That's the main difference between this one and the one in, what was it? Ashes of the Empire. Yeah, these are all just dumbfire frag. It was performing pretty solidly, so I saw no reason to make any big changes to it. I don't expect it to be shooting down any planes, but it does pretty good in the ground attack role. Let's see. This should be fun to use at some point here, but I don't know if I quite got it working the way I need to. It doesn't seem to want to fly into enemy targets just yet. I need to keep playing around with it, see if I can get it to work the way I want to. But it's just meant to be a very, very cheap kamikaze. But just for shits and grins, I'm going to spawn something like this out there, and we're going to put this on God mode. But yeah, it really struggles with trying to collide into its target. That's something I definitely will need to work out. I mostly just brought this guy in because I completely forgot what it was. Let's see. What else? Oh yeah, there is a new version of the Led Zeppelin. This one will reach a pretty good top speed. Let's just have it go straight forward so I can show you guys. Not supposed to do that. Right, using AIPID, my bad. So we'll just tell it to go somewhere instead. But yeah, it still moves at a pretty good speed. I haven't gotten around to painting it just yet. I might put some kind of a gondola down here just to make it look nicer. Yeah, it's getting a pretty solid 110 meters a second. Here's the engine for it. I might have to mess around with the PIDs a bit more to make sure it's working correctly, but it seems like it's smoothed out now. Okay. I believe there is a... Yep, there's a custom jet engine here in the back, probably providing the majority of the thrust here. And it's just barely using any materials. I just really like fast transports. Because pretty much in almost all of war is just having the right weapon at the right place at the right time. Okay, I also have a repair version of this. It just has some like repair tentacles in it. Nothing too crazy. And you guys might remember this guy, the Mermaider. Pretty solid little submarine. .40 meters a second. Not bad. It just launches these medium torpedoes. Explosive frag. Mostly meant as a support unit. Have one of the little Goliath engines in here. I'm a pretty big fan of that thing still. Yeah, having a submarine that can get across the world at 42 meters a second is very nice. I got a bigger, badder submarine, though. I think we just finally got around to where we can bring it into the campaign. If I can find this silly thing. Oh yeah, the Blood Ocean. I was trying to make this look like just a chubby U-boat, which is pretty much all it really is. And we're going to have ourselves a bit of a collision. Yep. This guy also gets around pretty fast. Doing about 32 meters a second. Enough to keep up with the fleet, and it is rocking some large torpedoes here in the front. These cannons here are almost primarily for show, but they are using some supercavitation armor piercing. I don't really expect them to do much though. And here's the inner bits. Same kind of engines that I've been using a lot here lately for a lot of other ships. Gets very good efficiency. So, yeah. So those are the submarines I will be using. And here's the Bannockburn. It's intended to be a light anti-aircraft cruiser. And let's see here. Let's spawn in some planes for this to shoot down. How about some Hellcats? Hello, Jexia. It's been a while. Hope you're doing okay. Uh, just passing by to say hello. Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Jexia. Last I checked, I believe this is using armor piercing. Yeah. Armor piercing. What's it called? Base bleeders? Yeah, I've been doing a lot better actually here. My mouth has healed up so much since the surgery. For those of you who didn't know out there, Dama had to get a tooth pulled because I had like bone splinters coming out, and they had to pull the tooth out to get the rest of the bone splinters out. It just hurt so damn much. And Dama was not himself. We'll just leave it at that. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been doing many streams here lately. But yeah, as you can see, well, aside from this issue, it does pretty good at dealing with aircraft. It's kind of meant to be like an early game anti-air solution. And it's got the torpedo launcher down here because I imagine there will be some ships that end up going into the water. Yeah, I know, right, Jaxia? Yeah, I'm in voice chat if you want to hop in there. If not, that's cool. I just thought I'd offer. But yeah, it's pretty solid for anti-aircraft. I also have something that's a little bit beefier. Any of you guys that follow me on the... Okay, yeah, no big deal. Just thought I'd offer. Anywho, any of you guys that have been following my stuff on the Steam Workshop, I know that this guy has been getting a lot of attention. I believe it hit like over 100 subscribers, which is kind of big for me. Very good ship. Been very happy with her. Okay. And yeah, she gets up to a pretty good speed. I think she hits about 34 meters a second. Don't quote me on that, but oh, yeah, she's really getting up there. It's been a while since I messed with this thing. I really liked how the hull came out for this. It's a technique that I've been trying to use on a lot of other ships that I've been building here lately, because it's a very, very efficient hull. But yeah, it is intended to be solely an anti-air cruiser. Just for shits and grins, we're gonna hop into here and we're going to get some I think these are zeros, and we'll just put it on its regular AI. It does have a bit of a lisp, but that's fine. The mains are using 200mm 2-meter sabots. These other guns, they're using the same kinetic shells that I was showing off earlier. This thing loves to chew up zeros. I think a plane crashed into it. Jeez, guys, it's just the designer. already getting kamikazes. But yeah, this is pretty much all using sabotage shells just for the fire rate. Main difference is with the smaller ones, they are using the tracers. These main guns, there's not a whole lot to them, but they're just meant to knock out planes, so I don't expect a whole lot of them. Just meant to be very, very fast and to hit planes. I gave a copy of this to BWI Gaming, and I told him that it eats zeros for breakfast and craps victory. Yeah, I've been very happy with her. I think it'll make a very good ship for midway through the campaign here. I plan on using it for anti-aircraft and anti-light shipping. I'd probably have to say she's like a medium cruiser. I doubt such a thing exists, but I can't really think of a better way to describe her. But very fast, very well armed. Yeah, take care. Thanks for stopping by, Jexia. Yeah, this thing is going to be very, very good at shooting down enemy planes. Excels great at tackling lighter ships. Great speed, great firepower. Probably one of my all-around best designs. Alright, what else do I want to show you guys? Already looked at the Heliback. We have looked at the Terra Dominatus, the Rook's Rift. Corliss Rex Mark IV. Yeah, well. Or do I want to bring in something else? Actually, let's bring in Euthanasia. This is designed to be a cruiser killer. The secondary guns are from the More Simple Weapons mod, and of course we have a bunch of the octuple Bofors, and some of the 20mm anti-aircraft guns from Simple Weapons as well, or More Simple Weapons I should say. The main guns, they are 12-inch. I believe they have 6-meter autoloaders. And let's just have a look at the shell. Yeah. APHE. Very, very fast shells. I'm not entirely sure what the hell this is. Oh, that's probably for the secondary guns. Yeah, that's secondary. But yeah, this is also quite a beast. It gets pretty good speed. Battleship grade weapons, essentially. Not quite the rate of fire that I would like. I know it is up on the workshop, and I think it made the front page actually. So we got alloy here, and we got heavy, and we got some more alloy, metal, alloy, 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 and here we are at the squishy inner bits here. AI suite, same engines I've been using for about everything now. But it should serve us pretty good here. Price isn't too horrible. Mainly just designed to be a cruiser killer. I forgot this guy was up here. A quad Orligan. I might be butchering the pronunciation of that. Anyhow, we'll probably be seeing a few of these. Let's see if we can get her up to speed, so you guys can see how fast she goes. I've done some craziness here to try to get her going pretty quick. I completely forgot about this room. But yeah, I was stacking a bunch of propellers in there to try to get better speed out of this, but actually this whole area right here ended up being all I needed. It does take it a little while to get up to speed, but that's because the dry shaft is so long. I've been quickly discovering that it's best to try to keep it as short as possible and probably use crank motors. It seems like it's more efficient. But yeah, she's up to 28 meters a second. I think yeah, she can get up to 32, but yeah, it would take a little bit of time to do that. She's got some large torpedoes that pop out of the bottom here. PID stabilization. She just hit 30 meters a second. Yeah, probably going to be a pretty good mid-game ship. She's loosely based on the, what was it? The Alaska class? Main difference is this is a hell of a lot shorter and there is no area here in the middle to be launching float planes from. But yeah, I've been pretty happy with its performance. What else do we want to try showing off? Oh yeah, at some point I want to just try spawning in a crap load of these little guys. Very, very cheap fighter bombers. Less than 8,000 materials, 109 meters a second, and it's got some Thumperhead frag missiles, or, well, dumbfire rockets, I mean. When I originally built this, I did not know that Finest Hour wasn't going to be using detection. That's why all that crap is in there. But yeah, it's just meant to be a very, very cheap aircraft that I could probably spam the hell out of. Much like the original Sparta. I think the original one was just a little bit more expensive than this guy. Actually, if I used that blimp carrier earlier, yeah, I could probably use it in conjunction with this thing. I don't know. Oh, and I have a new spy balloon. Or, well, the idea behind this thing is I wanted something that could go very, very fast. Which it can definitely do. 113 meters a second. It's cheaper than my spy satellites. And technically you do not need materials to make this work. And if it gets killed, I'm not entirely worried about it. It's just meant to get radar data, and that's pretty much about it. Don't need to worry about it turning or anything like that. But yeah, it's very, very fast. Very, very cheap. Oh, it's cheaper than the Spartan. It's cheaper than the spy satellite. And I think this engine was yeah, not the best power per material there, but still, this thing, to get around the map, you're not going to need materials. So I'm not too worried about how many materials it needs, just so as long as it get from A to B. And should be able to outrun about anything out there. And if I lose it, no big deal. It's only about 4K. But yeah, just meant to gather intelligence. That's it. Where else do we want to try? Oh yeah, the repair version of the Led Zeppelin that I was talking about earlier. Not too much different other than it just has repair bots in it. Not repair bots, or repair tentacles, I guess I meant to say. It's still pretty fast. It's just meant to carry a buttload of materials really, really fast and possibly do some repairs. Yeah, there are the repair tentacles here. Just using the low RPM engines here. Sure, I'll be making very good use of this. This guy hasn't made an appearance yet in our multiplayer campaign. Very big boat. She is rocking 400mm APS. Does about 18.5 RPM, and this thing is using 500mm shells. It probably has a little bit of more decorative work that needs to be done, but other than that, she's pretty much ready to roll. And there's the AI, and these are using, I believe it's 8-meter loaders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are these 7s? Yeah, these are 8. Okay. And it's got one of the little Kari's anti-aircraft guns here in the back. We got some octuple bofers. I think I might have missed a few spots painting, but that's okay. But yeah, it just needs a little bit of decorative work. Wouldn't be too hard to do. She's a little wide. I've been trying to make ships that are a little bit thinner, which totally doable. It just makes it a hell of a lot more efficient to get up to speed. Why are we not moving? Okay. And this kind of suffers from the same problem as a lot of other things, where just a very long drive shaft, it takes a little while to get up to speed, but it still gets very, very good speed. 31 meters a second. It should be able to outpace a lot of enemy ships. Whatever it cannot run, it could probably kill, so. Or, no, that's not how it works. Whatever it can't kill, it can outrun, is what I meant to say. But yeah, pretty much functionally complete. Oh, I forgot I put turning thrusters down there. Yeah, she's up to 30 meters a second right now. Armor isn't that great, to be honest. We got alloy, metal, metal, alloy, alloy, metal, poles, and then we got the regular metal in here. That's something I kind of wanted to talk about, is using the metal poles. Originally, I was not a big fan of it, but then I realized that you can have more compact armor schemes by using them, so that's kind of why I've been using it as much as I have lately. Yeah, she's a big boat. Turns like a big boat too. All right, we're gonna bring that guy back out. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. I just realized we haven't looked at the shells. Alright, here she is once again. I might be doing a mixed type of shell. I don't remember. It's been a very long time since I used this. Oh, okay. We're using semi-armor piercing HE, it looks like. That's fine. It's gonna hurt. That's all that matters. Yeah. That's gonna hurt a bit. Just trying to get my shoes off there, sorry. And I'm assuming the sabots are for the secondary guns. Yeah. Or maybe they're for the anti-aircraft gun. I forget. Well, you gotta find out here real quick. Ah, okay. Yeah, this is set up for the wrong ones. Okay. We can fix that later. No big deal. But, yeah. Other than those outstanding issues, I think she is ready. Just trying to think here if there's anything else I want to show off for you guys. Don't know if I'm going to bring back the Bird Award because the other torpedo bomber's cheaper. Let's get... Yeah, I can bring this guy back in. This is essentially just meant to be a very, very cheap warship with battleship grade weapons. I originally made it for Dominion of Dama, and it's performed surprisingly well despite the very thin armor it's got. Because we got, what is this, like layer of metal, another layer of metal, and then we have the barbette. Surprisingly tanky for as little armor as she has, but whatever. I'm fine with it. I think it's one of the few ships that I have here that are actually running on Steam. Yeah. I believe Heitzmeister made, or was this me that made this modification? I don't even remember anymore. But I think I was trying all kinds of fuckery to try to get it to go a little faster because in this campaign, speed is very, very important. At least in my opinion it is. Like I said, having the right weapon at the right place at the right time is very important. Yeah, she's getting up to speed. But yeah, I did all kinds of crazy shit with props back here just to try to squeeze a little bit more speed out of it. She's doing 25, 26. How fast does this thing go? 25? Ugh. Anyway, that is... I don't know if I'm bringing this guy back or not. We'll just have to wait and see. What else do we got here? Let's bring in the Corollas Rex Mark IV. Now this darling, oh my goodness. I wish I would have done better on the workshop. I thought she really would, but got like maybe 20 some odd subs. But very happy with this ship. It is able to solo pretty much about every ship in Finest Hour. At least in my testing, it has been able to do so. Pretty quick for a ship of her size, 29 meters a second. The mains are using 400mm 8-meter shells. Had to do all kinds of crazy work to make sure that these things get knocked up by heat so very easily. They do about 15 RPM, and they kind of have a mixed variety of shells. I believe the ones in the back, yeah, they're using heat, and the ones in the front of the turret, they are using... Well, it's supposed to be a different shell altogether. I don't know. I hate how... It's like this keeps getting confused which one's which. Anyway. Yeah, this is just a solid head. We got a... I believe this is a 120mm secondary gun here. This is pretty good. 70 RPM is not anything to sneeze at. And these octuple anti-aircraft guns, these things are freaking amazing. Just sends up a whole wall of lead. Those handle the majority of the anti-air work. I had a hell of a time trying to decorate these main guns though. Basically a combination of using the cram barrels and appliques. I was just trying to experiment with things and try to make it look more interesting. This is also using the same secondary guns that I have been using, just the 150mm twin casemate that's put on top of a... Oh, hey, Madus. Yeah, I haven't been able to do much lately because I've been healing up from a mouth surgery where I had to get a tooth pulled, so that's why things have been kind of slow here. Anyway, I'm just showing off some ships that I plan on using in a solo run of Finest Hour. But yeah, these are the 150mm twin casemates. Let's see what shell you're using. It's like these are all messed up. It cannot fit that shell in there. I'm gonna have to rework that at some point, but trust me, this thing is pretty nasty. This one right here, this is the Corollas Rex Mark IV. She's complete aside from the issues that I was just showing with the shell selection. I'm gonna have to fix that at some point, but it's not too big a deal. It should be simple enough to do. Wish I would have done a bit better on the workshop, but I think people would intentionally try to avoid big ships like this because it's a bit too taxing on their system. if you guys saw the showcase video I made for this, back before it had the secondary guns on here, and this majority of the superstructure, it was able to solo the Yamato, despite it not having railguns or repair bots. Yeah, it just went toe-to-toe with it, and it was still cheaper. I am kind of trying to decide whether or not I want to make a bigger version of this. I am considering something with using 4 of these octuple turrets. I mean, not octuple, but quad turrets. And it's probably got the best armor of anything that I have made so far. We've got 1 layer alloy, 2 layers of heavy, 1 layer of alloy, 1 layer alloy, sloped spall liner, and 1 layer of alloy. This thing does not give a damn about railguns, because about almost all of it gets caught here with the 2 layers of heavy. Yes, it would be a lot of deca. Just for example, though, I think the biggest ship that I have seen in this so far is the Christopher Colombo, I want to say. That thing is way more expensive, and this thing can beat it. But yeah, that's the largest, most expensive ship that I've been able to find in here. But yeah, part of me wants to come up with a version or another battleship with 4 of these turrets, and probably make it like a maybe a Swedish Pagan Mark III or 4. I can't remember what number I'm on with that. But yeah, it's a very damage resistant design, and I've been very pleased with it. Okay. So now I kind of want to show us something that's a little experimental. A friend of mine sent me a ship. He's actually getting to be pretty good at this. And he has a similar naming convention as I do, except he goes with the names of like sci-fi characters or video game characters. He's looking at starting his own YouTube channel where he features a lot of TV, like the content I'm doing. I hope he does well. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I was kind of wanting to see this for last because this guy did an amazing job on this. So here we go. This is a battle cruiser that is intended to be what's known as a cruiser killer. And this has to be the most metal warship I've ever seen. I mean, look at the figurehead on the front of this. That is badass. I think the turrets look amazing. He did amazing work on these skulls here. And check these out. Thought that looked kind of cool. It's like he gave all the secondary guns mohawks. These quad autocannon turrets, they've done very, very well in my testing. They're very, very simple, but sometimes simple is all you need. And they're way cheaper than like the simple weapon ones. He's doing some interesting things here with the bridge. He's been trying to see if he can't do like something more of a pagoda style. Good luck to him with that, because I haven't quite figured that out myself yet. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, very orky. But this is basically inspired by the Doom Slayer from the latest Doom. I believe it. I played it. It's kind of frustrating. I got to the final boss and I was about to kill her, and the game just fucking crashed on me, so I haven't played it since. But damned if it wasn't fun. And check out the chains here. I'd pull my hair out trying to do this shit. I think he said it still needs a little bit of work, like AI tweaking, things like that. But it's probably one of the more competent ships that I've seen in a while, and I plan on using it in Finest Hour because it just looks so amazing. Let's see how fast she does. My friend is not very into social media right now, so it might be a while before he gets that channel off the ground, but I think he's going to surprise a lot of people if he can keep putting stuff out like this. Oh, yeah. Let's have a look at the mains. 400 millimeter. I believe it's... I think he said it was 4-meter autoloaders. And I think each one of the guns have like their own shell. Yeah, we have AP heat, or APHE, sorry. Here's the AP heat. And we got AP kinetic. And those are basically for the mains. What else? Oh yeah, the secondary guns, they are using, I think these are APHE? Yes. They done very well against aircraft in my testing. And he's been borrowing my engine designs. More power to him, I say. And she is very, very quick. I mean, she's getting 35 meters a second right now. Though I did do some internal shenanigans to make this work. I can get it up to about 28 without those. And I did a little bit of decoration work back here to hide the crank motors. I think that looks pretty good. So I think here, just for shits and grins, we're going to have it fight the Alaska, and then after that we're going to end the stream. Oh yeah, he did a lot of good work with the decorations. But Alaska is about the same price range as this guy. The major advantages, this thing has about 10 repair bots, and I don't think any of the Finest Hour ships have any, but yeah. It still weathers the fire pretty well. What was the armor scheme of this again? Alloy, heavy, then there's metal, alloy, alloy, metal pole, alloy, metal. I could see that, yeah. Do I? No, I do not. Okay. But yeah, she could definitely take some damage. And with a lot of designs that I'm going to be doing for this LP, I'm going to limit myself to 10 repair bots. Anything over that would probably be a bit much. Oh, it definitely is. Actually, Modus, if you want, I could send you the blueprint after the stream here. Can't get over how awesome these chains look, using them for the rigging. Said he was having a hell of a time trying to make sure that these guys didn't pop, but for the most part, I think he pulled it off. Just trying to have secondary guns and have them to where they're not messing with the armor. It's kind of hard to do. Yeah, I really like how the rigging turned out. It almost kind of gives like a Ghost Rider vibe. And the camouflage with the decking here, it's kind of cool. It almost seems like a leopard print almost. It's almost like a Dazzler camo. He told me he kind of found this by accident, and he just liked it so much he just kept it. Don't think it's quite done just yet. I think he said he still has some more tweaking he's got to do with some odds and ends. I think he said he didn't have the local weapon controllers set up properly for several things. Oh, and I forgot this thing has a torpedo launcher down here. Yeah, just like 8 HE torpedoes, I believe these are. Yeah. Nothing too crazy. Let's see how we're doing versus... Yeah, we're like 10% above it. And we have those knocked out. That's knocked out. I think this only has like one functional gun remaining. But I don't think I've seen it fire. Oh, there it goes. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't have too much problems against the Alaska or a lot of other ships in its price range from what I've been seeing in my testing. I gotta admit, J-Dog and his crew put together some very nice boats. And I need to learn how to do these raised bows. I think these are using 6-meter loaders. And how fast is this thing? Really? Okay then. Looks like Doomslayer's faster than this thing too. That's kind of awesome. Yeah, I think a few of these and I'll be able to wipe out pretty much everything. Maybe use it as an escort for Corollas Rex Mark IV. I do believe he was talking about a Gordon Freeman class ship at some point. I can't quite imagine what he would have it do, but I think he wanted to save Duke Nukem for a battleship. But I think this pretty well embodies Doomslayer. Definitely rip and tear. And we have hit the 80 below and sinking. Okay, and well, it's pretty much dead, so we're just going to do a repair all, but yeah, as you guys can see, this thing is, it's pretty tough. I'm surprised it does as well as it is with the 400mm 4-meter autoloaders. I really like the work you put into on the superstructure here. I'm gonna have to try a few of these things. And I believe there are some turning thruster he has mounted up here. Yep. Gotta love that trick. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. But I am afraid I'm going to have to wrap it up there. So with that said, if you like what you've seen here today, please let me know with a like, comment, or even better, subscription. You guys have yourselves a hell of a day, and keep your armor high. Later.